Hey, yo, welcome back, Good to see you again. Again, another day of going over framing layout details. So, in this video today, we're going to make sure that we give you some good information that's going to lead you on starting off how you do your layout on plate. Your 2x4 plate, your top plate, and your mud seal or your pressure treated seal plate, which is the bottom plate. Those two combination plates go together. They either go together on top of each other, or one is hanging over the edge outside the building, still nailed flush to the top of the flat 2x4 member that's on the ground. So on our board today, it's all about this is how you mark up all your symbols using X's as where your studs go, where your king studs go, to determine your doors and your windows. So at the top we have, starting off, we got our corner channel, triple X on this side here. We have our studs marked by X. You can see where they're marked. This plate is laying flat on the concrete, or it's going to be laying flat on a subfloor, 3/4 inch plywood, preferably, most of the time. This plate here is on edge, just like this. One is flat, the other's on edge. The top of the edge is what you have here, which will be this side here. That's the top that you're looking at. So, with that being said, we did discuss in our videos earlier, you go back and check those out, how you read the blueprints. And blueprints always give you center line measurements. Center line. That's going to be a line going down and a C developed through the line. So what we did was a mock-up here on how you will lay out your plates, okay? Both plates have to be laid out. Like I said, you got a guy going through, marking all your corners, marking all your intersecting wall channels. That's all he's doing. But the layout guy, he's doing all the detailing. All the plate material is already on the slab. It's already been set out and laid on the ground. Your lumber packages came. You have spread it, your mud seal out. Everything has to be cut. Anything that has a break must have a break on top plate and bottom plate, with a stud at the center of that between break. Always remember that. Even if it's a little bit off 16 inches of a center, you can have an overspan bay 18 inches, okay? Because normally you could have studs spaced at 24 inches on center. Now, I know that there are some developers. I know when I used to go in Memphis and look at what Habitat for Humanity was doing, they had an engineer that was doing all the drawings that had every stud on the outside walls 24 inches. How he got away with it, I don't know, but there are ways that you can have your stud spaced at 2 foot on center. But common practice is that your studs for your exterior walls are 16 inches on center. 16 inches. Let's just do 16. I wanted to just teach you 16. 2 foot can be done on the inside. Okay? All right. But there's a method to the spacing of studs for the drywall purpose. So remember that. We're going to go over the type 5, type T-Y-P-E, type 5 sheet from Los Angeles County. Okay? And it gives you, and you can go on their website, LA Dobbs, or, Los Angeles County Building Department, you know what I'm saying, where you can go look, and they have the minimum standards for framing and for your foundations. And they show you a sectional view of those minimum standards. And they show you header lengths for window sizes, from the minimum size to the large size. They show you beam sizes as well. We're going to go over that too. It's just paperwork. That's all it is paperwork. And we'll be sitting at our drafting table, and you'll be I'll be showing a view over the top of me, and you probably will not be seeing me in a lot of videos coming up. Probably my hands and maybe a pencil or a ruler or something. But get ready for that, because when you don't really see me on this board, you're going to be seeing me on my table where my miniature frame model is going to be saw and seen on video. And I'm going to bring the video straight to you on that and show you all the points, and everything I've been teaching on this board is going to actually come alive when you see this model. I have my details written on a slab on my miniature model, and this is how you do it in the real world. You must detail everything on the floor so that the framer knows. Now remember, you're the layout guy. You may also be the framer. But the layout guy that's in production, that's pretty much sometimes all he does. He's a very busy guy. He's going from subdivision or track division to track division. He's got 20 houses. He's got to send a crew here. He may have 50 houses over here. He may have 60 houses for another company there. And when I was building in California, that's how it was. We had one layout guy. And that layout guy had a crew. And that's all they did. Plating and detailing. He had to have the blueprints a week to 2 weeks in advance, depending on the size house project, and he marked them up. He might have to mark up his rake walls, his balloon walls. We'll get off into rake walls and balloon walls too as well. But today is a special day where we're doing layout details on 2x plates. And when I say 2x, you don't see a 4 here after the 2x. You don't see a 6 here. It's 2x represents any type of plating that could be put for wall framing. And that's 2x4, 2x6. 2x4, 2x6. So I left the 2x only there, so that way it could be a 2x4 or it could be a 2x6. Okay, so this is on slab, like I said, or subfloor plywood, 3/4 inch. So we're hooking from the outside of this wall. This wall is running all the way through. Okay, it's running all the way through. And remember, I told you, you're hooking that corner, you automatically know you have a channel here. That's 3 studs, okay? But you got to hook this corner and go 15¼ inches. And you put that first mark here. But from this mark, you're hooking, hook 16 inches from here, and go away. Hook 16 and go, okay? Hook it. You're going to have 16, 32, 48. This is the layout, and you're going to run that layout all the way through. Then as the layout person, or male or female, comes behind, you're going to look at the plans, and the plans are going to show you where every window, where every door is. I have a mock made up for a window and a door, because it's pretty much all you're going to be getting in a layout floor plan on your exterior walls, windows and doors. Nothing else. The only thing that could change is the way the framing is framed, whether it's an octagon, pentagon, hexagon style, bay window. You still got windows there that need to be laid out. I can also put a bay window here to show you, but the concept is still the same. Windows are laid out to the center. So if I have a 3-0 window, that's 36 inches by 36 inches. The 0 represents there's no inches. That's 3 feet. We have 3 feet by 3 feet. O represent there's no inches. You convert 3 feet, and that's 36 inches. 3 feet, 36 inches. So you're going to go to your center mark here. Okay? Then you're going to have to, you're reading your header. Header gets written out here. 4x6 header. 39 inches. Why? Because we need 3 inches beyond 36 inches. 36 is the call out size. But we have a trimmer that's taking up 1.5 inches on each side of the opening. This is a window opening. You only have this much writing on under a window. And why? It's because you got a bottom cripple and you got subseals. Usually bottom cripples is up underneath subseals, okay? But I want you to get the concept. Just reverse these two. Because when this is the cut list, and everything that needs to be cut is the 39-inch header, top cripple 6 5/8, bottom cripple, or let's just say subseal first. A double subseal, you need two 2x4s or 2x6s cut at 36 inches. Because that's going inside where the trimmer is. It's button inside the trimmer. That gives the window that 36-inch opening. Remember I told you windows are not 36 inches. They have a manufactured call-out size, usually within a ½ inch, sometimes 3/4 of an inch, 5/8 of an inch, you know, depending on the manufacturer, okay? It's going to be 35 1/2, 35 5/8. You got room to play with, okay? So, top cripples is what sets the precedence of your header, your top cripples. So usually, even this is before. So usually you put the top cripples first, 6 5/8. Then you usually put your header up underneath that. I kind of reverse some stuff, but I'm explaining it to you so you can get it. Top cripples first, header second, subseals third, bottom cripples fourth. Why? That's the order that is framed in. And everything that you see framed here is going to be flipped the opposite way, because when this wall is laid out, the top plate is going to be down here and the bottom plate is going to be up here. So you need to be able to lay your studs out, and then you need to lay your header. So when that wall is raised, it's raised up just like this to stand up, which means you don't want to frame your window here. You want everything to be framed down here, because that's the way you're lifting up the wall, and it's going to be facing with the header up top, okay? You're not going to frame this wall and you frame it and you lift it back this way. That means you're going to have to carry the bottom end all the way back to the front of where the edge of your slab is. Remember that. Top cripples first, header, bottom subseals, then bottom cripples. That's the order of framing. The order of framing. 1, 2. I'm going to just write this down. 3, 4. And I'm just going to remind everybody here, the way I'm shooting my videos, forgive me, because I'm writing everything backwards. So if you see a number on any of my videos, my fault, my bad. Remember one thing. Oh, he's writing backwards. So yeah, I'm human. There's room for error, and I hate when I review it, because I'm doing all these videos for you, and there's nothing being really edited, because I'm not a master at that. I do need help with that, but at the same time, I'm teaching. Pay attention. Pay attention now. All right. This is the order. I just marked up the order so you can write this down at the house. Okay. Finagled it around a little bit, but it's good, because then it makes you write it down right, okay? But when anybody sees this and makes a cut list, as me, a professional, I don't care what order it's in. To be honest with you, my cut list is my cut list. And all my top cripples are going to be cut for that particular size window. A 3-0-3-0, it's going to be cut for that 3-0-3-0. My bottom cripples are going to be cut for a 3-0-3-0. That's what's going to give me my height. Those top cripples set the precedence for the header, because they go up against it. And we showed you in previous videos how that framings look. And when you get your center mark, you're going to go 18 inches, but primarily you're going to divide 39 inches in half. Half of 36 is 18 inches, okay? So 19 inches is 38 inches. 19 and a half, you're going to have 39 inches. So you're going to go that each direction. Now this X here and this X over here, notice that there's a slash going and facing each direction. One this way, one that way. This means this is the king stud. This is the king stud. What makes it the king stud? Because that slash mark. Cripples go in between the slash. Let's go to the door. Cripples go in between the slash. King stud. King stud. Okay? King stud. You can put a K there. You can put a K. But common, practice in industry is the X. because everything is marked out X's. So the framer, he must learn how to read the X's and where they go. The same with the intersecting channels. Same with the corner channel. You got to know what type of channel you're dealing with. And we went over that before. But know this. What you see in red here. Let me tell you something about why I did it in red. Because I wanted to make sense for you so you can analyze and separate individual things and get it. Because if I marked everything on and you're not a blueprint reader, this is where I'm teaching you how to dissect certain parts of the framing. Nothing's going to be in 3 or 4 different colors on the plans. It's going to be one color, black and white, okay? That's it. But what I did was, since layout continues, this X here is real small. Reason why I put it in red is because it's not on a regular layout. But you need a cripple stud right next to your king stud. My layout from here to here, this is the next layout marking. That should be in black, but I want you to know what's cripples. These are cripples. Well, why so many cripples in that space? Okay, so let me tell you this. This is what's happening when you do layout, okay? You must keep a cripple on your layout mark. Some guys know that studs, cripples, if you run them with 16 inches on center, and especially if you do the 15 1/4, your floor joist can go over that. Your ceiling joist can go over that for the second floor, or your rafters. And the layout, it will hit on layout. This sets precedence. It's the wall. The wall sets precedence before you get to the floor joist, the ceiling joist, or the rafter. Single story, or whether it's second story. Okay? Why they're too close together here? Because this is on a regular 16-inch layout, like the rest of these here. This fell on a layout, okay? But guess what? We don't need a space on the end next to the king stud. We need to put another cripple there. It's uniformity. It's standard practice in industry. You don't want to have a space there. Although they say, well, is it needed? No, but it looks good. And it does add support and strength. Keep the layout with your cripples, but also if the cripples is not close to the king stud, you must put, and I'm telling you, you should put a top cripple next to your king stud and a top cripple next to this king stud, because they all get nailed to the header. So common practice in framing is when all these pieces is cut, you frame them together. Your header is pushed up right where this is. Because when your header is pushed up, and it's a 4x6 header, it's 39 inches. So guess what? It's going from here to here. It's going from X to X. You push that header up against your plate, and when you're marking out your layout here and here for your 16 inches, it marks on the header as well. Why? It's because you're going to be nailing your top cripples to that header. And that top cripple, the pre-nailed to the header, then only nailing you have to do is from plate to cripple, because it's attached already to the header. Make sure your top cripples is attached to the header. You can put that header up on edge, put your top cripples down, get your nail gun, boop, boop. Be very careful that you don't shoot your finger or your hand. Put your nail gun, you can put a toenail faced in on each side to keep it there. You can put a toenail to lock it in on the edge of the header, and you keep that layout. And then you're going to always put a cripple, top cripple, on the end of the header, even if it's not on layout. You put on each end plus the layout mark. So if there's 4 cripples in a 36-inch span or 39, don't worry about it. As long as you got these important cripples that's on layout. But make your project look good and make it make sense, okay? We want to make it make sense. This is common practice in industry, and it's been done like this for many, many years. And I've been framing for over 40 years, okay? And that has not changed. There are other building projects, structural projects that's coming into play now, but this is going to always be your original baby. This is going to always be, your your 2x4s. It's going to be around. It's going to be very hard to eliminate this unless we have no more trees, no more forests or anything where we need wood. And, you know, I'm glad that it's still around because it is a good way to learn. You work at it. Something else takes your job. It's because they eliminated this. And now they got machines trying to do everything now. And there's still room for error because a human has to monitor the machine. He has to set the machine up. He has to program the machine. If that fails, then you got a catastrophe on your hands. On edge, same thing. I did not put no layout marks for my cripples here, although I could have transferred them here. Could have done that. But I could do this. You're going to have a here, and here. That's how it's going to look. These are going to be pretty much close together because $16 inches in between them, the two. So I like to do markings too while I'm shooting the video at the same time because it really makes me be more engaged with what I have going on here. Your layout for your window, there's more parts. For your door, top cripples and header. That's it. Your king stud is marked here. Your king stud is marked here. There's a slash that goes this way that lets the framer know this is a king stud just because of the slash here. Because of that slash, and that slash, he lets you know there's a window there or there's a door. And the reason you can tell the difference on a slab or a subfloor is by what you have here versus what you have here. 2 members to cut, header, top cripple. 4 members to cut, top cripple, header, subseal, bottom cripple. 2, header, top cripple, header. Okay, everything else is studs. I got marked king stud. I have marked king stud. My doorway, the detailer, knowing when he reads the plans, he went from 8'6" to the center and divided that in half and went off. That's where he put his mark for his X here, for his king stud, because he divided this line in half. He went this way, he went that way, and divided it. And that's how he got his king stud layout. Here, same thing. Notice I did not hook all the way back to the beginning here just to get my door center. Usually centers to centers come off of each other from windows to doors. You go back to the center of this window, notice 7 feet. 7 feet to the center of this door from the center of this window. This is so that way when the architect or draftsman draws it this way, there's not a bunch of different measurements showing there because you got a lot of different things going on plans. There is a lot. Plans are very busy. And I'm trying to teach you how to dissect and how to itemize things so you can look at them individually and know how to read and know where things go and where they're placed. Structurally, when you look at the structural pages, that's in the S pages, S1, S2, S3, S4, those pages are very important, very vital. You're going to get a chance to see that. Right now, let's teach you how to lay out windows and doors by symbols. X marks the spot. Stud, stud, stud. King stud. Cripples. There's more cripples here. There's a cripple here. I got a cripple here, close by. There's another cripple here. Okay? The reds are the top cripples. Bottom line, reds are the top cripples for here. This is on edge. This 2x4 here, or 2x6, is usually face nailed out front of this flat 2x4. One is nailed this way. The other one is nailed in front of it, like so. Or like a so. Flat, nailed in front. Flush, has to be flush at the top. So that way the transfer of the layout marks can go across and over. And you're going to transfer the marks. You're not going to just mark everything on the top here. Now, if you have both your plates together, then you're going to have to mark the inside of the plate all the way up and over to the outside of the plate. The framer needs to see the marks. And these X's got to be transferred for your king studs. Very important. But this is how you lay out for your detail. Just like this. Don't forget it. This is for window. This is for door. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. There's more to come. Stay tuned and stay with us because we have a lot going on that we're going to be sharing with you. This pertinent information is going to really plateau you because not everybody is being taught this. There are a lot of people out there today that work for a guy. That guy is the mastermind of the job. He shares no information with you. He don't want to. And why? It's because he wants to keep you down to where he can build you and make money off of you at the same time. If I teach you and my crew how to do this, it frees me up. But guess what? People have the fear of the more you learn, the less you'll be around them and get paid less with them. Some people abuse you on the job and they will take advantage of you and they will pay you low wages. And those low wages will affect your lifestyle. Learn. Get ahead of the plateau. Get ahead of the plow. Get ahead of the game. Know what you're doing. He may not, the guy, your boss may not share this information with you, but on the side, you're coming down and looking at me, you're watching my videos. Before you know it, you may be asking your boss, hey, I thought the layout should go this way. Maybe you're going to learn something that he doesn't know. Just be prepared to be challenged. Because when you challenge the master on the construction site, that's the carpenter, the master carpenter, then you got to make sure you're willing to put him up. Because you need to know what you're talking about. And if he doesn't know what he's talking about, I advise you to go and find someone that is very highly skilled and work with them. And yes, it pays to work with somebody where you can learn and they're not scared to show you and take you on. The guy that trained me, Charles McDowell, he took me by his side. When we came cut stairs, he showed me and did the math with me right there. I did it. Yeah, I was in La La Land a little bit. And it took me more than several stairs to cut and to install. But I paid attention. I read books on the side. I also watched videotapes on the side. Because back then you had to have videotapes. Now you got the YouTube, you got the Facebook, you got the Instagram. And just letting you know, knowledge is power. Stay tuned for the next video. We hope to see you again. Watch it in its entirety. And I want you to learn and to excel. And like I said before in the videos, if you see a number that's turned around, I'm sorry. I'm not editing. I do need an editor, but you know, I need more than that. But I'm just teaching right now. Strictly raw. This is all raw. No sugarcoating it. So hey, you get me as I am. See you to the next video. God bless you. Take care.